This episode of The Bill and Callie Show is brought to you by
Connections Restored, helping people who have suffered from trauma, PTSD, and addictions. Connect with us at connectionsrestored.com. Connections Restored.
Welcome to episode 33 of Connections Restored TV. My name is Amiee Boswinkle. I am an intuitive and a transformational life and business coach, and I am so incredibly excited to share episode 33 of Connections Restored TV with all of you this evening. Today's topic is cracking the confidence code, and oh, what a great topic to be talking about right now. I have been having such amazing conversations with my clients and people just reaching out recently around confidence and boundaries and like how can we practically apply these things in our life, especially people who have been through all kinds of various traumas and have felt small their whole life and felt like they didn't have a voice or that they weren't seen, or when they tried to talk, people pushed them down. Can any of you relate to that? Because I know I personally can. I know that I've felt like I have been shut down the majority of my life. I know that I felt not seen, not heard, right? I can remember times in my youth and in my elementary school where I was sent to special needs classroom because I literally didn't know how to talk. I didn't have any confidence. I didn't know how to present myself. I didn't know how to hold myself. And I certainly didn't trust people either. Those are stories for another day, friends. What I really want to help you guys do today is crack the confidence code and help you connect the dots in a way that maybe you haven't been able to connect those dots before. Because once we gain clarity around why we are the way we are, it actually starts to open up this new perception and this new perspective around life, right? Once we change our thoughts around something, it changes our feelings. And when we change our feelings and our thoughts, we can create new behaviors, right? But creating the new behavior to gain the new emotion is key in all of this. And I'll explain that all here in just a little bit, because I'm going to give you 5 reasons to connect to confidence in a way so that you can crack your own confidence code. Because what I found is that once we do this, magic can happen, right? We break out of the realm of predictability, which is where most people live, right? Most people live in this predictable world where they wake up every morning and they get out of bed and they know exactly how Monday looks, right? And they know exactly how Tuesday looks, and this is how Wednesday looks, and they have a relative idea how much money they're going to be bringing into their household. They have a relative idea, what's going to be going on during the month, and if there are some unexpected expenses coming up, like things that you have planned for, like a vacation or traveling for the holidays or things like that, right? That's all predictable. But a lot of times people have a hard time breaking into that next level, and that is the space of possibility, right? What happens in possibility? Is anything possible? Sure. Absolutely. Anything's possible in this world, right? I'm sure many of you have experienced some things in your life where you've just gotten those big eyes and that surprise inside of you, and you're like, oh, that was amazing, because it wasn't predictable, right? Something occurred for you. You experienced something that wasn't predictable, but it was possible, right? Because anything's possible. And we start to open up our mind and be like, oh, well, if this is possible, right? More doors start to open. If this was possible, well, here's a new door. If that's possible, well, here's a new door. And we continue to walk through these doors, right? But sometimes we get stuck because we start to grow so fast it scares the subconscious part of our brain, because the subconscious part of our brain likes habituated responses. It likes habituated behavior. It likes habituated feelings. It likes habituated everything. Even if those habituated spaces make us feel miserable. right? So cracking the confidence code means stepping outside of our comfort zone. How many of us really like to do that, right? How many people actually will be like, I love stepping outside of my comfort zone? There are people who do. They love it because they know some people are just daredevils, right? And they love that rush of adrenaline and being like, let me try this new thing. And, because it surges a rush inside of their body, right? But it also lets that person know, like, oh my gosh, wow, look at what I just did. That was amazing. But the majority of people, right, we're kind of like, I don't know about that. Right? I know that I fit right there, right? I don't know. But once you start working through spaces that don't feel very comfortable, when you break out of that comfort zone and start doing things that are a little outside your comfort zone, and you start to step into that realm of possibility, because the doors keep appearing. And every time you say yes, even though you're scared, even though you don't know what lies on the other side of that door, another door opens, right? Or a new window, or this new rope is thrown at you, and you're like, every single time I say yes to something that scares me, I grow just a little bit more, and I open up more of that realm of possibility. And in that realm of possibility, more and more becomes available to me. And then as we start to go through that realm of possibility, we wake up in this realm of potentiality, right? Where we're literally standing, looking at ourselves and activating our purpose and our passion and our desires and our wants, and the world seems very magical in this place. We don't always get to stay in that realm for very long, but when we arrive there, it feels so amazing, right? So it's about relishing being in that space once you arrive there, and then going back into the space of, opening up more doors and being in that space of possibility, right? Because nothing in this world is off limits to us. Whatever it is that we want, right? Whatever it is we desires us in return, wants us in return, right? Because the law of attraction dictates what we see and what we love. There's an energy there that allows us to know that what it is we want wants us back in return. It's the law of attraction. It's right. It's this energy of like this is the thing that I want, and the universe literally allowing us to see what it is that is available for us, and that if we just take these steps moving forward, we can actually obtain that. But there are so many people who get lost in that comfort zone. Gosh, do I know that place well? And when you compound traumatic experiences on top of that, and you compound people telling you you're not good enough, or you don't learn the right way, or that you aren't smart, or that you aren't this, or you aren't that, when you start to hear too many times that you aren't good enough in some way, shape, or form, we start to believe it. I know that I did, right? Even though I wasn't really told that, I was silently told it. I was energetically told it. And I've always been really sensitive to other people's emotions, being able to read it on their faces, being able to read it in their body language. And so even though they weren't verbally saying these things to me energetically, and their actions spoke a completely different language to me, one that I was able to perceive, right, pick up on and understand. And so I started to tell myself this story, that I was stupid, and that I was fat, and I was ugly, and I wasn't good enough, and I lived in that space for oh so long. And I started to limit my own possibilities. I started to limit my own potentiality, and I lived in a space of predictability for so long, and how miserable it really was, right? Even though I had moments of happiness, and I had, after a certain point in my life where I gained sobriety from alcohol and drugs, and I gained clarity because all of my criminal activity that I had been involved in and gotten caught in, and all of the things that I had to deal with the law, my community service, seeing a probation officer, you know, all of those things, paying the probation fees, having my license taken away, were all restored, right? I gained some space, and I started to come back to a semblance of who I was. I still lived in this realm of predictability, right? I woke up, I went to work, I made a certain amount of money, and I thought that's just the way that life was going to be. Then one day, a door opened to me, a door I never thought was going to be there. And I got told this really amazing thing for the first time in my life. I was going to my health coaching school, Health Coach Institute, and they told me, your story is your most powerful tool. My story was my most powerful tool. I lived in so much shame and guilt around my story of my 3 DUIs and being a heroin addict and an alcoholic, and living in the shame and guilt of, you know, stupid, fat, and ugly, and all the choices that I had made. My story was my most powerful tool. And I believed them, because I believe that they wanted me to be the best version of me that I could possibly be, because that's what they kept instilling in me. Nobody had ever done that for me before. Although people had told me they loved me and they wanted good for me, I didn't hear it in such a way where I could open up and access a part of my confidence within myself that I didn't even know existed. And I had to start taking different measures. I'm an introvert by nature. It takes a lot for me to come on here and share my thoughts and feelings with all of you. But what I know is that my purpose, my passion, something inside of me opened up, and I have learned to cultivate ways to come and show up and share these messages of experience, strength, and hope with all of you, that no matter where it is you feel like you've been in your life, no matter what comfort zone you feel you're stuck in, no matter what vibrational frequency you're in, even if you're in a low vibrational emotional state, below 200 hertz, right? Because anything below 200 hertz means we're stuck in a frequency where we're not even available for change, right? Because we have to hit 200 hertz, the level of courage, before we're even available to be able to look outside of the box and say, you know what, I want to change, I want to grow, I don't like being this person anymore, I want to change. But most people will arrive at a certain point in their life. They'll say, I'm too old to change, which isn't true. That's a story, right? Too much life has happened to them. They don't want to change, right? Everything's a choice. Everything's a choice. We get to choose, right? I like who I am, and I'm going to continue to be this person, or I am really ready to activate this potentiality inside of me, this possibility inside of me. I'm really ready to become this version of me that I didn't even know existed, even though I feel it. I don't know how to get there. And so we have to learn to travel outside of the box. Learn to travel outside the box, right? Take steps in the direction of the unknown. Take steps in the direction of fear, right? Because one day, what we once said no to, we're going to start saying yes to it, and we're going to start to surprise ourselves, and we're going to start to celebrate our successes. So how do we crack this confidence code, right? You're speaking this language, Amy, and I hear you, and like you're really touching my heart, and tell me more. How do I do this? How do I wake up? How do I become the best version of me? How do I activate my life's purpose? How do I step into potentiality? How do I step into possibility? We have to start to gain awareness, right? The first thing that we have to do is we have to start to gain awareness around the people, places, and things that actually take our energy away. So this is called boundaries, right? I spoke briefly about it at the beginning of the video. We have to create energetic boundaries around the people, places, and things in our life that no longer serve us. We have to become very, very clear, like, oh my gosh, you know what, this person, this experience, this place, this thing that I keep subjecting myself to is actually draining my energy. And then we need to create a new behavior around how we can connect and hold our energy inside of ourselves. And a lot of times people navigate and run to spaces of worst case scenarios, right? Couples, because I've worked with so many people now, they will, right? Like they will be like, well, you know, is that divorce? Is that this? Is it that? And not necessarily, right? Because it's just about being in alignment with energetically, is this serving me? Is this relationship serving me? Is this space serving me? Is my my office space serving me? Is my right? Do we need more time away just to walk in nature? Do we need to get more help around the house? And then a lot of times people get caught up in money, right? Like people will spend money on what they believe is going to service them best, because I have had many conversations with people saying that they really want to change their life, but yet they're not willing to invest in themselves and gain the right system, support, and accountability to get them to the place that they actually want to be. But yet I'll watch them spend several $1,000s on vacation a couple of weeks later, right? Believing that that's the fix. And for a short period of time, they actually gain a sense of happiness and they've created some new memories, right? But then when they come back home after all of that energy is worn off, they revert right back to that person that they were, because during that vacation, they weren't taking the time to get to know themselves and learn how their thoughts, feelings, and actions were actually creating the reality that they have in their world. Because we are our own obstacle and we are our own salvation, right? That is what we are. And we have to own our choices, right? So we need to create boundaries. Something that I've learned that has been really useful for me is that, you know, when I'm saying no to somebody, because if you're a people pleaser, meaning that you're giving in to people even when you don't want to, you're saying yes to things that you actually want to say no to, and then it's sucking your energy dry. Or you're saying yes to opportunities because the money's there, right? I used to do that all the time. I would say yes because I would get more money at the health food store that I used to work at, right? Like these opportunities would come to me, and in time, some of the opportunities no longer aligned with me, but I kept saying yes anyway because the money kept speaking to me, and it wasn't an equal exchange. Right? So what I've learned along the way is that when I say no to something, it means that I'm saying yes to something that is more important to me, right? So if my energy is more important than the money, then I'm going to say no to the person asking me to do whatever. And maybe sometimes it doesn't always involve money, right? Sometimes we have to do things for family members and close friends and for our job, and you know, right? But when we say no, we're actually saying yes to something that's more in alignment with what we want, right? That's what boundaries are. It means sticking up for ourselves, because who else is going to stick up for us if we don't stick up for ourselves? If we continue to play this game of people pleasing and allowing people to walk all over us, because we teach people how to treat us. The bottom line is that we teach people how to treat us. And in time, people know they expect us to react a certain way. And so to create a new behavior sometimes can take a little confidence, right? We have to crack that confidence code and start to say no where we used to say yes, because that no actually means we're saying yes to something more important. We also have to start, number 2, to accept ourselves, right? Instead of putting ourselves last all the time, we need to accept ourselves. We need to love ourselves more. We need to prioritize ourselves as first, because that is a sign of self-acceptance. That is a sign of self-love. That is a sign that we care about our energy. We care about our existence. We care about what's right for us, right? Number 3 is we have to banish all the negative self-talk we keep telling ourselves. Because if you guys are anything like me, I used to have all these stories come up around, I'm stupid, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm not good enough. Why can't I get it? Why is everything going wrong? And whenever I'm growing, whenever I'm emotionally growing into a new space, when I'm becoming my next level version self, which I do very frequently all the time because I'm on a path of growth and evolution over a lifetime. I'm going to continue to grow and heal and mend and repair who I am. Those old stories come up. And how fast I can navigate through it is just a sign of how much work I've done on myself. And sometimes I get caught up in the story still. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But most times I can catch it pretty quick and I can transform through it. Right? Because I have the right system, support, and accountability to help me navigate and shift that space. Because remember, when we start to think a new way, we start to feel a different way, because we're creating new behaviors in our life. We're no longer reverting back to those old behaviors that keep us stuck in insanity wheels, addictive insanity wheels, where we're literally over addictively thinking, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. And then all of a sudden, all these years have gone by, all these years. We're sitting there looking at ourselves in the mirror being like, gosh, I wish I would have done that then when I thought about it, right? As you're sitting there, right? Something I like to think for myself is, like when I'm laying on my deathbed, do I want to look back and be like, oh, yeah, all those thoughts I had around eating healthier, going to the gym, or giving a public talk, or hanging out with a different group of people. I wish I would have done that instead of just thinking about it, because maybe my life would have had more meaning. Maybe I would have felt more fulfilled, right? So if we just take the action when we think of it, then lots of things are going to change for us. Right? I also had to learn, number 4, to become more assertive. And a lot of times if you're meek, or if you're introverted, or if you're quiet or shy, we may create stories in our mind that being assertive, right, means that we're mean. Oh, but people are going to think I'm mean. They're not going to think you're mean. People actually respect other people with boundaries. They're more respected. And the only reason I can say that is because I've become the person who says, these are my boundaries, this is what I'm available for, right? And people respect that, right? And they more and more people come to me because they want to learn that for themselves too. How did you were shy, you were this, you were that, you lived in shame, you let people walk? Yes, I let people walk all over me. I was just trying to fit in for so long in my life. But the only person I really ever had to fit in with was me. I had to learn to accept myself. And that meant I had to create more assertive behaviors for myself, right? And assertive doesn't mean mean. It just means we love and accept ourselves enough to say, these are the boundaries. These are the boundaries. And then number 5 is I had to learn to care for myself. Right? I had to create the right boundaries around my own self-care, because when I'm out of alignment, and what I mean by out of alignment is when I'm angry, when I'm frustrated, when I'm complaining about life, when I'm saying everything is going wrong, it just means that I'm out of alignment with what I need. What do I need? Do I need to sleep more? Do I need more stress relief? Do I need a massage? Do I need to go to the gym and blow off some steam and increase my endorphins, right? I need to prioritize and care for myself first, because nobody, as much as we believe that we can pour from an empty cup, nobody can pour from an empty cup. Nobody can pour very well from a half full cup or a 3/4 full cup. Not very well. Can we do it? Sure, people do it all the time, but do we do it well? We do not, right? So give from your overflow. When you are feeling full, when you are like, oh, I have so much inner peace, I have so much this, I have so much love in my heart, I have so much energy, right? Give from there. Your entire life will shift and change if you follow those 5 things, okay, friends? So that's what it takes to crack the confidence code. I hope you have all enjoyed this video this evening. I love so much coming on and sharing with all of you my stories of experience, strength, and hope. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 33 of Connections Restored TV. I am an affiliate of the Bill and Callie Show Network. Bill and Callie are 2 very amazing people who have given me the opportunity to come and share with you every week for 33 weeks. Can you guys believe it? We're at 33 weeks. I've been coming on and sharing stories with all of you, and I just want to let you all know I appreciate you all so much. Please make sure you like and follow the Bill and Callie Show here on Facebook. Make sure you like and follow my business, Connections Restored, here on Facebook. If you feel called to reach out to me personally or friend request me, I'm at Amiee Boswinkle here on Facebook, Amiee Boswinkle. It has been my divine pleasure to spend this past 26 minutes with you. Episode 33, Cracking the Confidence Code. Again, my name is Amiee Boswinkle. I'm an intuitive and a transformational life and business coach, and I am so excited to see you all again next week. Take care. I love you. Bye.
This episode of The Bill and Callie Show is brought to you by
Connections Restored, helping people who suffer from trauma, PTSD, and addictions. Connect with us at connectionsrestored.com. Connections Restored.